So this is a VOD review for the same individual who's given me the last two, so I thank him very much. I don't know if he's actually here. It's Shiva 7? Yeah, it's the He said it was on the blue team. Let me see. Soldier. Why did it not pause? I hate it when it doesn't do that. Anyway, so we are going to time skip. 2, 3. Field of view. Put that all the way up. Perfect. Okay. So he sent me this. I'm going to kind of give it verbatim real quick. He thinks that this game proves that his trigger discipline hasn't gotten better. What happened is that he might have done something good. What happened is that even when I might have done something good in this game, I still feel like I was carried. My positioning was a bit reckless and I wasn't strafing enough. So although I know at this point if the aim trainers you gave me are doing me good or bad, because before this game and the previous one I somehow just lost 15 games in a row where someone in my team would leave and it wouldn't matter how good my aim, my positioning, or my resource management was. I was still stomped, whether it was the tank or the other DPS or one of the supports. But overall, this was something better if we compare it to the losing streak and my lack of confidence about how my aim isn't the only thing making me feel bad. He goes on to tell a personal story, which I will not share here, but essentially it equates to that he is suffering a loss in his personal life. Again, I will not share that, but my prayers go out to you, my friend. I hope that you will join me on stream this evening, and I can tell you then. So he was just talking about how that personal thing was discouraging him on top of everything. So without further ado, the game was played in Antarctica. He had 22 kills, 2 assists, 0 deaths. That's actually impressive, the fact that you had 0 deaths. So that's kind of good. 5,000 damage dealt and 1,000 healed. 1,000 heals. Gives me his list of his settings. He's the soldier. He ran out of batteries at the end of the first round, so he ran like there was no tomorrow in order to get new ones. And I basically helped him from there. So I don't know if he's going to be here or if he's going to watch the video in hindsight, whichever one it is. But I don't really need the settings too much. I already gave you the advice on what to kind of do there. And I don't need the stats. I'll be able to see that throughout the game anyway. So in the future, just basically give an overall of the match, a brief description. Either way, if you need to talk more, talk more. I appreciate the communication and all that. But you don't need to give me the stats. You don't need to give me the settings for your controller or anything like that. Just kind of like what you did in the beginning. Was just talking about how, you know, your trigger discipline may or may not have gotten better. You felt like you were reckless and your positioning was a bit off and you weren't strafing and so on. Like, what's going through your head? The better I can understand how your mentality was in mid-match, it's a lot easier for me to help. So we're going to skip. Okay, so here we are. Let's go back a moment. Let me get my headphones on too. This is like something I should have grabbed initially. But other than that, so Soldier 76, I believe that it wouldn't even matter if it was or was not quick play. If this was competitive, it'd be the same length of time anyway. Maybe a little less time, maybe a little more time. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, before we even go, where's your team? Okay, they're all kind of falling back. Okay, so before we begin, there's not anything that I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to offer advice here. I'm not. But you are doing the right thing. So you came up, you immediately saw the Diva probably immediately saw you, and you're doing a good thing by taking the positioning up top. So Soldier now gets an overview of the entire main point. Alternatively, and this is just for a food for thought, again, you're not doing anything wrong, so don't take this as I'm trying to correct you. You could take the side over here, take an off angle. Anybody that tries to come, you can block off their flanking over here because their entrance only goes here, it doesn't go over there. You would hold this ground. Heck, you might even be able to just hold this point right here, and you could extend a little bit and be able to fall back. So, like, on top of this rampway right here, if they came through in that doorway, they could theoretically come up to meet you over here, but you could fall back, and you have your cover right here. You have the sprint, you have the legs, so it would have worked as well. Diva might have been the only threat to push you out of your position, but this over here is also good, so let's see what happens. You know, if there's one thing I just thought of is like, don't tell me you lose this fight. I just remembered you mentioned you have no deaths. So I don't think there's really a point. I think I'm going to go team fight for team fight. So let's just go back. Let's review this because I already paused it. So I can see your reaction timing is a little off. It's not a problem. Again, I understand that you were going through a lot, had a lot going through your mind. The Genji did a good job in dashing, and we see that. Is that your... Yeah, your team is the only one with Symmetra. There we are. Okay, my mistake. So, Genji dashes behind you. So I saw what you did. You actually did the right thing. Not really advice, but in the future, just know what's this. Shut up. YouTube trying to tell me to stream at a lower rate. No, I'm good. Yeah, so Genji over here, when you were launching your rockets, you did the right thing. You aimed at the ground. You just have to really practice on how, like, just take note about how big the hitbox is and just be wary about it in the future and adjust. I still mess that up, and pros still mess that up. Genji's literally in it to try and get in your face and use his deflect as, like, one of his big things to make you hurt yourself. So it's not something you're going to always avoid, so no real problem, but you did the right thing, and you have a very good habit of aiming at the ground to shoot at his feet so that the explosion damage gets him. So I could see... You're saying you're... Let me see that again? Hold on a minute. Diva. Okay, so the Diva did go back, and it's Mercy. Oh, it's going to be fun. Okay, so your trigger discipline was actually really good there. Like, it wasn't perfect, obviously, but that's why we're doing the coaching. But no, your trigger discipline was actually pretty good. And what's the word I'm looking for here? I applaud that, because you obviously did really good. Genji's eliminated, you're already one ahead, and it looks like your team's not having an issue, but it looks like Symmetra over here is going to be teleporting to help out Mercy. I don't know what the Diva's honestly... Where is you? Oh, your tank is split. That's going to be fun. Let's continue. Oh, good target prioritization. Get the Ashe that's out of position. Good stuff. Stop the res. Good stuff. Good stuff. She evaded you so hard, and it was hilarious. No real problem. Oh, and there she is. What did you say your aim assist strength was on? Let me read that again. Aim assist strength was 100%. The window's at 50. Aim ease in, or aim assist ease in, excuse me. Okay. What you might want to do, try putting your sensitivity at either 45 or 50, because I noticed that you're having trouble tracking. And I wouldn't change the aim assist strength or window size until you try a little bit of a higher sensitivity and see if that helps. Not much higher, just a little bit. But that would be something to take a look at. But there you go. Okay, so this is actually so like I mentioned prior, you did good target prioritization. When the Ash was out of position, you aimed for the Mercy. You pushed the Mercy back. She went off the Ash, and then ultimately you got the elimination on Ash. Now you're doing the reverse. So again, I'll give you benefit of the doubt. You're going through some trouble, but let's just assume that this is in hindsight, and you've taken a little time to kind of clear your head and clear your mind. Just remember, target prioritization is indeed key. And what we are trying to do is make as few mistakes as possible. Get out of here. And pick our targets wisely. Because you're aiming for the Ash, but she's actively being healed by the Mercy. Your damage is being mitigated. You're just basically getting damage without getting any value for your elimination. So right now, what you should be doing is paying attention. Like, even your tank, I think, is focusing... Yeah, he's focusing on the Ash. Ash is getting free value because where's your heals? Right now, there's a teleporter over here. Kiriko's kind of upkeeping both of you and the Mercy? I'm very confused as to what's going on. What the heck happened? Genji, are you okay? I'm gonna quickly... Oh, he's dead! I was like, why does he show a full health bar and he's laying in the dirt? Okay. No, it's just buggy. Okay. So again, that threw me for a loop. Oh, there you go. There you... Oh, get the Mercy. Ah, thank goodness. Someone got the Mercy. Okay, finish off the act. Okay, so your team did. I don't know if your Symmetra was intentionally trying to do any of that, but it looks like it was the... Okay, there you go. Man, her teleporter usage is really weird. Good rocket. Yeah, so I'll take it that the team fight is now in between, right? Like, there's nobody coming around for a moment. Yeah, so the team fight's over. So, target prioritization, let's just go over that for like 2 seconds. Nope, wrong one. So Genji Moira's eliminated. You're shooting at the Ash. The Mercy's in front of you. I would have been aiming for her instead. I would have aimed for Ash here instead. Because the thing is, like, what is D.Va gonna do? What is D.Va realistically gonna do? Now you won the team fight, so it worked for the best. But future note is that's probably what would be better. It looks like Moira got back into the fight and is trying to take it. Okay, I would keep the high ground. Let's see. Yeah, there was no point for you jumping down. I would have kept the high ground, and it's like I was saying in a previous coaching session. Like, what do you want to do during your downtime? You want, especially a soldier, to secure your position. And when you were up here, there's nobody contesting you. Moira's down there. I don't know if you were on comms or not, but Moira's literally by herself against 4 of your teammates. The only time that I would have jumped down is if maybe she managed to get away with eliminating one of your team. And that's even pressing it that would you really give up the advantageous position, because now Moira has to aim up towards you, and you have the ground. The ground is going to be a nice sliver of cover that she can't hit you from. So you can back up, and that would be your cover. Her team is technically coming by, but this is also, again, like why you shouldn't have given up the high ground, because now what you do to prep for the team fight is to put yourself in an advantageous position. So again, you could have done what I mentioned earlier and go up to that ramp and secure the other way, because for all you know, they're trying to come that way now. Or position yourself back over here, because now you have the walls cover from that entrance right here, while at the same time having just enough of a view to see the field. So you have decent visibility for when the team fight will start and an advantageous position. And then bounce around this wall, going back and forth to contest the high ground and whatever not. Or, if the team is fighting for point, you can now create the off angle while your team takes the back and pincer them. So, giving up the high ground, not the smartest idea, but this is what you do between team fights. Good rocket. Ooh, good use of your legs. I have no idea what the diva was doing. I for sure thought she would... Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, your Kiriko gets the Ash. Okay, I don't know what happens there. Looks like they're going to blow the res before the team fight's won. Okay, diva... Yeah, you were mentioning your strafing being an issue right there. Let's go back a step. So, diva is now looking that direction. What way should you be strafing? You should be strafing right, because her focus is to the left, and you're both looking the same direction. Her defense matrix, which she uses right there, if you were still on the right, you would have been getting the side angle, but now because you moved left, she's able to defense matrix your primary fire. There's nobody over here as of yet, so there was no pressure. And you know that the Mercy was rezzing the Ash and is probably going to pocket her. I wouldn't say for sure that I would have thought of that if I was in your position, but I would be thinking about the defense matrix and positioning myself where diva wouldn't be looking at me. But then again, in higher ELOs, you're probably going to run into people who have better reaction timing and know how to play their hero a little bit better at an average level. So let's continue. So maybe I'm just putting the expectation too high. So now we're running into a problem. So diva's out. She's distracting 3 of your teammates. She's literally got the in fact, actually 4. Yeah, no, she's got attention of 4 of your teammates. Kiriko and Mercy are with each other. The Symmetra's currently doing something with what I believe to be a teleporter. I didn't see it yet. And then your Ramatra is going full on big dude mode. But now look at the fight that you just took. Pocketed Ash, and you're shooting at the Ash that is currently getting healed. And Mercy's just getting some free value for whenever her ult pops, and I'm assuming 67%. So you're taking a very disadvantaged fight, and look at where you are. Now, the only kind of benefit is that you could technically back up, and if she walks forward, she'll have to face off against some of these turrets, but they can be easily dispatched of by her, so it wouldn't be that much of an insurance. But you're taking a very disadvantageous fight. I can't say the word sometimes. It's really weird. But look at where you are also. You're also in a very narrow corridor. It's a fish in a barrel situation where you are technically mobile, but you're also in an enclosed space. She doesn't have to work too hard to aim for you. How did you survive that? I'll never know. But you, by rights, probably should have been dead. And you also turned your back. Oh. I thought that was the Genji coming for you. Good elimination, though. I have to remember, you don't die in this match.
You're going home in a box.
Okay, good. Utilize the shield. Okay, so let's go back a step. Symmetra takes the barrier. Unless they encroach upon you, you don't need to do a thing. Stay right where you are. If they're in front of you, pop over right here where you're at right now a little bit sooner. Right here. You should have just popped right over here the moment that you could. And then, bam, you're in the prime position. You do not need to move. If they approach you, start moving, start bobbing, start weaving, because now your protection's gone. This is a 4,000 HP barrier that Symmetra has just essentially given you for free. You have a barrier in front of you. Now, I don't know if you're going to use your ult in a few seconds, but you should have been in this position this long ago. Right here. Because you got free value. And you have free value in the way that you don't have to move and your aim will not be affected by your strafing. So you will have prime aim opportunity right there, and they can't do anything except approach you. In which case, look at what they're approaching. They're approaching a pocketed Kiriko. They're approaching a Ramatra. They're approaching Symmetra. What's this skin? Is this any team skin in particular, or is this... I just noticed the yellow outline along with the yellow skin color. Kind of blended a little too close together. Yeah, I wouldn't blow the ult right now. I would hope that's not what you're doing. Okay, good, good. Whoa! Diva got melted. Oh. I would just go in and use it now. Go in and use it. Good. Priorities in the right place. I like it. I like everything that happened there. It could have been done a little bit quicker and more aggressively, but it worked itself out, and it worked beautifully. You didn't just use your ultimate in the front fight, which was what I was hoping you wouldn't do. You almost melted Diva. You got a lot of value from that. I don't know why you ran all the way back. You have the protection from your team. I would have actually just gone backwards and not even looked that direction. Mercy wastes... Did she not get the res off? That was weird. Yeah, I would have just pushed in. There was no reason for you to wait. And you probably could have gotten the Diva and basically stopped him from gaining free value by having a remexed Diva. Lesson learned. No problem. Diva's out of mech. She can't do anything. Unlucky aim on the Genji. Okay, so we're on this point. Yeah, this is a 7-minute match, so I assume that this is going to be the last round. Excellent win if that's the case. Okay. So, immediately, I'm going to tell you right now. Good job. No BS, no nothing. You're doing the right thing. You are taking the off angle, you're taking the high ground. You're cutting off the route right here, so they can't just take the space for free. You're occupying it. They are pressing toward the point. Probably a little flustered from how they lost the last team fight, so that's probably what they were going to do anyway. And your team is engaging on point, so they have no choice but to do it if they want to take it. And because you're up here and your team's down there, you essentially have this space for free. Good job. Good taking of angles. Also, good aggression. Oh! I wouldn't pursue that. I would get out. Get out, get out, get out, get out! How you did that, I don't know. Good.
Tactical termination.
Nothing more satisfying than a direct rocket kill. Oh, hold off. You know what's funny? And I noticed that you just did it right there. You reloaded your gun at just the right time that he was deflecting. Nothing more satisfying than a Genji who's trying to deflect you and like, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me! And it's like, nah, I'm reloading. And then he's got to wait for the next deflect. Granted, he's very mobile and a jumpy jerk, but whatever. Get him! Get him! Stomp his head in! Oh, if I explained that joke, I would be an absolute jerk. I'm gonna clean up my language too. That's gonna be hard. Okay, good. Oh. You know, theoretically, I wouldn't have even taken the fight with the Kiriko. So, remember how I was mentioning in the Tracer VOD how it's like you have to look at your counters and you had like about 3 of them that could have bursted you down in like 1 hit or less? This is also another instance. You had in this room, where'd he go? Is he dead? Yeah, he's dead. You had Zenyatta, you had Ash, and you had Kiriko. Now, yeah, you can't get as easily one-pieced as Tracer, but Zen can burst you, and again, it's like a fish in a barrel situation. Look at where you are and where he had to aim. He didn't need to do much. And then Ash, and then Kiriko going back and forth over here, whatever she's doing. Good kill on the Genji. Let's go back a step, because I have a feeling I'm forgetting something. Good pressure on the rocket. So, I'm going to tell you as a soldier main that one of the things that I learned from pro play, learning when to determine using your rocket. And there's really 2 primary methods that you could use your rocket for. Securing the kill for number 1, or stripping armor. Let's go back just a second. Okay. So now you don't have your rocket. But how would you have engaged if you did? For Zenyatta, you wouldn't open with your rocket. He's especially since he's aware. Your rocket down. You wouldn't have even needed to waste your shots. There is one more thing I'll quickly mention after I'm done explaining this, but it has to do with your reloads. But as I was mentioning prior, the 2 things, you would either close the kill or strip the armor. So those are the 2 times that you should be using your rockets primarily. Don't always be using it to lead every single kill, and don't always be saving it until after you strip armor. Reverse it. Because your primary fire is losing out on precious damage amount by shooting at armor, where your rocket loses significantly less, and then you gain more on the health. Whereas, when you're shooting a target like Zen, Kiriko, Ash, anybody on the enemy team, you close the kills with your rocket because they're now anything... Your rockets deal 120 damage. I believe it was 120. Was it 120 or 160? I don't know why I'm flipping between those numbers. But your rockets are going to deal over 120 damage, definitely. And so, if you can get them even to like 3/4 health, that's enough to make anyone panic, and low enough that you can finish them off with 1 or 2 bullets. That's it. That's really all there is to it. So, keep that in mind. And then you put pressure over here. I don't know. What is your Ash? Your Ash. Your enemy Ash. I don't know what that was. That was a waste of her abilities and a waste of her positioning. She rushed you. She got on the wall. She rushed you. And then she uses her coach gun to create space that she technically didn't need to... She wouldn't have needed to do it if she played smart. It's just kind of funny to me. I know I'm coaching you. I'm not coaching her, though. Okay, good. Oh. Okay. Prime learning opportunity, just for a second. Because I don't know what you're about to do. But I know what you could do, and you're already doing the right thing. You're keeping the space, so you're not letting him take it for free. So yes, keep the ground. Use the wall to your advantage. That's exactly what you're doing. Now, I don't know what is about to happen, but I can figure you're either going to jump down the moment that they rush you, or you're probably prematurely going to jump down and just try and take a flank and be aggressive. In which case, both could technically work, but what I would like to stress is that in situations like this, you're doing the right thing right now. Get into cover. Don't let them keep the space. Show them that you're there by peeking and putting off some pock shots. Make her waste her defense matrix over nothing damage, little pokes, whatever not. something that, you know, could keep her at bay and let her know that she can't just take the space for free. So you did the right thing. What I'm worried about, what you're going to do is just jump down. So let's see how this works. And I see that there's a bunch of man, you're Symmetra. Masters at placing turrets. But now this leads to the second portion of this discussion. And also, by the way, good healing station placement too. So Kiriko, I don't know what she's... I guess she's just trying to eliminate... I guess she was just trying to eliminate the turret? I'm not 100% certain. She might have been trying to eliminate the turret. Yeah, because the turret's gone from over there. So that's probably what she was doing. But the pressure that you have is from a Genji, a Kiriko, and a D.Va. D.Va's not your big threat. All that D.Va's going to really do is prevent your value from going through to the three of them that are currently in that barrel. But Genji and Kiriko have a very good damage output that you won't be able to survive without a pocket. And it looks like you got the pocket, so thankfully it's not totally for naught. Your team's in a pretty good position. You're doing really good. I like it. I just wanted to kind of clarify that this is why you're having to dance between the two. And don't worry about getting eliminations or making plays. The pressure that you're doing and holding the ground that you're doing is enough. Also, I should probably point out that they just swapped over to Hanzo. He's still in the point, so you won't know about that just yet. Yeah, dance. Good use of your melee. Very good use of your melee. Even if you didn't get the kill with it, that's the right reaction to have when Genji dives in front of you and he was very low as he was. Good reflex. Another reason to poke. Moira comes along and she locks onto you with her auto target. Good kill on Kiriko. You see, here's the fun part about the D.Va and your Symmetra. It's like a match made in heaven. That because Symmetra exists, she's going through the defense matrix and peeling that D.Va like a banana. And it's like... she's getting so much value because D.Va cannot stop her. And the only real defense that D.Va has against Symmetra is her team picking up the slack on Symmetra, meaning that Genji's got to dive her, Hanzo's got to dive her, Kiriko's got to dive her, the Moira's got to dive her. They got to get rid of her to remove that free value. And then on top of that, your Mercy's doing very good on pocketing. Your Kiriko's doing very good on healing, and from what I can tell, some pock shots herself. And your tank is just being the tank and actually doing really good on aggression. So there's really no complaints on your portion of things either. You've already been hearing my coaching on this, so let's continue. And I'm going to repeat this from a previous tip. When you have the barrier up, don't move. Seriously, I've been having to work on correcting that myself. If you have the protection, the barrier is not going to be fully protecting you. There are some things that can go through, and you have to take that as it comes. But if you have protection, don't hinder your aim. Especially when it was just put up, it's going to be a full barrier. You have at least maybe 1 or 2 seconds before that thing goes down at bare minimum. Use it. Stay still. Focus your aim. Don't hinder your aim by moving left and right. Now, Hanzo was in a position to nullify that, so you're probably in the right for doing that. But again, that's kind of going back to the previous tip as I was mentioning. %, you are very close to winning. Your Symmetra's turrets are literally the GOAT. Her turret positions are just big-brained. They're so stupid, they're smart. But they're also weirdly placed apart. So Genji's coming for you. The Genji... Let me watch that one more time in slow motion. Dashes you. I don't know what his plan was. Every Genji does this. They dive and then they turn around and they just start deflecting like you're going to kill yourself. You literally didn't need to do anything. You just needed to play the waiting game. And so he starts melting, and he's done. I just want to know what his plan was. I want to know what was going through his mind. What an idiot. I believe the word I'm looking for here is ignoramus. Okay, and you got your tack visor again. I'm also noting how impressive it is. It's very good that you're not just blowing your visor whenever possible. Like, it's a very quick, like, compared to some other alts, it's a very quick building ult with how Soldier's Kit is functional. So, all in all, it's actually really good. I'm glad you're just not blowing it at every opportunity you have when you see some targets. So, kudos. Your ult usage is great. Was that defense matrixed? Let me slow that down and... Ah, it was defense matrixed. Okay. That's what was confusing me. You got a free barrier. Yep. Stay still, stay still, stay still, stay still. You're not staying still. The literal only thing they can do is cross that barrier to get to you. If they are not doing that, free value, stay still, focus your aim. Okay, now is the time to go down and take the fight.
You're not even an effective criminal organization.
Perfect. I will rate that, like, I know you were mentioning you were worried about your positioning and everything. You're actually doing really good. You're doing really good. Like, really, really good. I can't fault anything that I just saw. If there were the complaints, I think you already know what they were. When you've got a barrier and they're not pushing towards you, if they're not pressuring you in that way by engaging you and pressing forward, use the barrier to advantage and stay still. Don't hinder your aim worse than you need to. And then, what's the word I'm looking for here? Yeah, that's really the only two things. You're definitely improving to a small extent. Obviously, still have to work on your aim. Take my suggestion from earlier. Yes, between team fights, your positioning's good. Your use of space is, for the most part, good. But between team fights, what are you doing? Try to think about that too. Your positioning, your strafing could have obviously been a little bit better. Your positioning, you already mentioned the things that you noticed, so keep those in mind. And then when it comes to the two things that I just mentioned, implement those, and I think you're actually gonna do really good. Just try to figure out the aim settings as soon as possible and see if it'll help to increase the sensitivity a little bit. Yeah, overall a really good match, very good win.